went into it. So Mo, like I said, she's one of our founders for Connecting Things, and she has such a heart for this community. She is so passionate about Louisville, about giving back to the community. She wants nothing to see this community succeed, and so she is a perfect person to have this first Connecting Things as our. She's a perfect person for our first speaker. So big thanks to her, and yeah, that's about it. So thanks, Mel.
Just gonna wiggle through here. Thanks, Jess. That was a nice intro, and again, thanks to the Connecting Things team. This is exciting. It's our first one. And thank you, David. It's David's birthday, by the way. He doesn't want anyone to know that, but it's his birthday. So happy birthday to David. Thanks for letting us use the Pong Club. It's really weird being in a professional setting. Even being here in the morning is weird because we've had some infamous parties in this place. You're actually sitting on the dance floor. Usually there's like a DJ here, a bunch of drunk people. Really good times have happened here at the Pong Club. So it's really fun to see it in sort of a different light and with light. I don't even think I've ever seen the ceiling in here. So I'm glad you're here, if not just for the please and thank you, cookies and coffee, not really to see me speak, but it does mean a lot that you guys are here to hear about entrepreneurship, which is what I'm going to talk about. My name, as Jess said, is McKnight Howe. I own Revelry Boutique Gallery, as it's over here in NuLu, and I sit on the board of directors for 3 different boards: Louisville Independent Business Alliance, Keep Louisville Weird, Louisville Visual Art Association, support your local artists, and Kentucky Natural Lands Trust, because we love the environment. I'm also the president of Look, which is a consortium of fine art galleries here in Louisville. And I am a part owner of Forecastle Festival, who some of you know my brother, J.K. McKnight, a fellow entrepreneur, a great entrepreneur. He started that in our backyard a little while back. It's gotten a little bit bigger. So that's kind of a little bit of background on me and the things that I'm involved with in the community and some of the nonprofits I'm involved with. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I became an entrepreneur. I grew up in the Highlands of Louisville, which I love. I didn't know anything but small business growing up. You know, I knew Keith from Keith's Hardware. I knew the guy at Winn-Dixie, and everywhere we went, everywhere my mom took me on errands, we knew who the owner of the store. So I grew up thinking that was the norm. You know, that was how it was. I didn't realize, until I got older that that's, not how it is everywhere, and that we're really lucky to have great little neighborhoods like the Highlands, Crescent Hill, now NuLu, that have these great, small businesses that we still support. So I kind of have that embedded in me, and that's part of the reason why I knew from a very young age I wanted to have my own small business one day and be like these people that I was used to seeing every day. Went to school, got in a lot of trouble for mostly for drawing on my desk, on all my papers, so much that my mom and dad got called in to have a conference with my teachers saying, this girl needs a creative outlet. You guys got to do something for her. She needs to express herself creatively. So they got me involved in so many things as a child that I was able to express myself, which helped me a lot and also helped me realize, okay, I want to have a small business. I know I need to go into something artistic. So I ended up getting a scholarship to the Height Art Institute here at U of L, awesome art school that we have here. My one regret about college was that I didn't take any business classes. We have a great business school at U of L, and I took like the worst classes ever, like for my electives, like weightlifting and just like terrible things. Instead of actually going over to our awesome business school and like maybe taking a course in marketing or accounting, like that would have been helpful. So any college students I ever talk to, I'm like, just go over to the business school and just take a couple classes. I don't care what you're gonna do. You need to know this stuff. But I got my photo degree, and that was great because I always wanted to be a photographer, and I knew that. When I graduated, I was lucky enough to meet Paula Weiler, who had actually just started Revelry, and I came in as just an employee for her. She needed help. She knew the business side of it. She had her MBA from Bellarmine, and I had my art degree. So together, it was perfect. I did all the art stuff. She did the business stuff. We soon realized, okay, let's be partners in this because it's the perfect 50-50. And she really laid the groundwork for for the business plan and everything that Revelry was. But it was a few months into it that she realized she couldn't do it by herself. So I came on, which was great because I wanted to be a small business owner. And it was great. It worked out awesome. We were on Barrett Avenue next to Lynn's Paradise Cafe. Business was okay. We still both had to have other jobs to support ourselves. So I was still a working photographer, and I was also a nanny, which was really fun. And then I did Revelry, and she worked for her family's company and did Revelry. So we had to support, because in the early stages of small business, you kind of have to support yourself in other ways. So that's what we did, and it was great. It was awesome for a while. Paula soon decided to leave the business, not soon, a couple of years into it, decided to leave to pursue her dream out in California. And I was left with the business. We bought her out, and I became the sole owner of Revelry, which was really scary at the time. But I felt like I had learned enough about the business and about how to run a business through her that I could do it on my own. And I did, and I embraced it. I embraced every part of it, and I really made Revelry different from what it was. I took it under my own wing, and I made it my own, whereas before it was kind of both of ours. So that was exciting. It was an exciting time. Business was okay. I had one girl that worked on the weekends, and I worked on the weekdays, and I still supported myself as a photographer. I was no longer nannying at this time. But then, as some of you may know, Lynn Winter decided to go crazy and close her business. Just one night, one social media post, Lynn's Paradise Cafe closed. And it totally rocked my business. I had no idea that my business depended so much on another business, and it did. I had tour buses pulling up all day, out-of-towners coming in that had never, been to Louisville all day. That's who was buying from me. And when Lynn's closed, it stopped. It stopped. I did everything I could to try to market Revelry I got together with the other businesses in the area. We tried to rally. We tried to put on events. I mean, you name it, we tried to do it. And I held out for a year on Barrett Avenue before I finally realized, okay, I can't do this anymore. This was my dream. I worked so hard, but I think I'm gonna have to close. And that's just what I'm gonna have to do. It was that sink or swim moment. But the entrepreneur in me said, I cannot do this. I can't do it to my artists. I can't do it to myself. I can't live with knowing that I closed this business. I can't do it to Paula, who started this business. I got to do something. And luckily for me, I knew that, because of my awesome real estate husband, commercial real estate husband, he told me, you just got to move location. Just in real estate, you hear it all the time. Location, location, location. It's the same for a house, it's the same for a business. And I realized, okay, we gotta find the right location, we gotta move, I want to keep going. I want to keep trucking forward. He heard Scout was about to move, and so I was like, that would be the perfect space. And we went down there, and I envisioned it all. I saw where the gallery was going to be, where the print room was going to be. I love the neighborhood. I love NuLu. It was great. So in 3 days, we packed up. I closed Revelry on Friday on Baird Avenue. I opened Revelry NuLu on Monday. So literally in 3 days, I had to move all the art, paint all the walls, everything in 3 days. And I could not have done that without a support system. If it weren't for my friends and my family, it wouldn't have happened. It just wouldn't have. And the reason I did it so quickly is because I had no other choice. I had tripled my rent by moving down here. I tripled my space. I couldn't afford to not be open. So that's the real reason why Revelry opened in 3 days. It's because I couldn't afford not to. And I was freaking out about the rent down here. I was freaking out about tripling my space. It was one of those go big or go home moments. It was like, I'm either gonna keep trucking on and make this huge, or I'm gonna close up. And I went the huge route, and it was so scary. And I didn't know if it was gonna work, but I talked to a lot of other small business owners in the area, and they said, you have nothing to worry about. It's cool. And I was like, how many days do you have, just like 0 days? You know, like how many days do you just not make a sale? And everyone around here just started laughing. And I didn't get it, because on Baird Avenue, that would happen all the time. They were like, Mo, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So I trusted them. I took their advice, and we opened Revelry, thankfully on Derby week. So we had a lot of tourists in town that all wanted awesome, local, affordable art, and it worked out. Since the move, I don't know if you guys might know, we just celebrated our 5-year anniversary at Revelry this past Saturday, which I'm really excited about. Yay! 5 years, it's crazy. But since I moved to NuLu, everything's changed. The risk I took was well worth the reward. After 4 years, was able to hire a full-time employee, 2 part-time employees. I have over 115 artists now, and not a lot, but some of those artists have even gotten to quit their day jobs because of the money that they make from Revelry. They get a monthly income from Revelry. So that to me is success, that I'm able to support other people in this community and myself and create jobs in the community, even if it's just a couple. It's great. But, will I ever be a millionaire from Revelry? No. That's not my goal. My goal isn't to be a millionaire. I know I'm never going to get rich and famous off of Revelry, but I'm supporting people, and I'm adding something to this community, which is a huge part of why I wanted to be a small business owner. So to me, that is success. So overall, this is where I am now. I run a successful business, which I didn't think was going to happen just a little over a year and a half ago. But I did it because of my entrepreneurial spirit. And I think that there's some elements that every entrepreneur should have. And one of those is you have to take risks. You have to take risks because it's worth the reward most of the time if you do it right. You need to have diversity in yourself and in your income. Just like, financial advisors will say, diversify your investments. You need to diversify your income. I wouldn't have made it through those beginning years of Revelry if I hadn't been a photographer, if I hadn't been a nanny, if I hadn't found other streams of income. I wouldn't have been able to keep continuing on with my business. If you don't know something, know someone who does. I was lucky enough to meet Paula, who had her master's in business, and because all the things I didn't know she did, it was a great combination. I think that was a huge reason for the success of Revelry. Make sure you have a really strong support system. Again, without my friends and family, there would be no Revelry. If I wouldn't have had them laboring away, it just wouldn't have happened. I can't imagine going to another city and starting this business from scratch by myself. I needed them. And I think every strong entrepreneur has a good support system, whether it be from friends, family, or partners. Ask and learn from other people. I went around to all of these businesses in NuLu and said, hey, I'm the new girl. Tell me about the neighborhood. Tell me what I need to do. You don't know it all. I still will never think that I know it all. I still ask questions to people every day. I think a huge part of being a business owner and being a successful entrepreneur is staying humble. Never think that you're the biggest and the best at what you do, because then you'll just stop and you'll be like, I'm good, I'm cool. You're not. You always need to ask questions. You always need to try to better yourself as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a person. So never just settle and think that you're okay. And that goes for personally and professionally in my life. You have to love what you do. If I didn't absolutely love art and my artists and the creative outlet that is Revelry, I wouldn't have made it through any of it. But the passion for what I do what has brought me here, basically. And if you're not 100% in love with what you do, then you can't do it. It's not going to work out. My final thing I want to say is a quote that my old business partner Paula said to me when I started in the business, and it's one of those quotes that will always stay with me, that I always tell people: you have to make the life you want. You can't wait for it. You can't expect it. You can't think someone else is going to do it for you. You have to make the life you want. And I tell that to people all the time. I tell it to college students all the time. If it doesn't exist, you have to make it. So make the life you want. That's it. Thank you.